Gary, looking ahead to this weekend's game against Accrington Stanley, in reflection of that loss at Cheltenham last weekend, you've spoken, especially in your programme notes, about wanting to find that balance in terms of we're getting the attacking right, and it's perhaps when you attack that you sort of lose sight of what you need to do defensively.
Yeah, I think we are still in the process of creating a new identity as a football team. We are still learning every game and those little moments how you can play better. I think 4 or 5 weeks ago our struggles were to create. When we had possession, we were struggling to create chances, we were struggling to attack the box and attack the scoring zone with numbers and intensity. We worked on that and got much better at that. And on Saturday, I felt we were good at that. It could have been better, but it was definitely the offensive balance when we're attacking. That understanding of how we defend and how we stop counter-attacks was poor, and we paid the price for that. So there's always little things we can learn, even in the games that we won and the run we were on, where we won and then drew and then won. We had areas of the team where we had to improve and we felt we could be better. So it's not just when we get beat that we look at trying to improve the details of how we play. That happens even when we win or when we draw. So it was costly on Saturday. It cost us points, and that's when it becomes more apparent and you have to really focus on it. But ultimately, every game we want to get better and develop and improve as a football team.
When you speak about the identity that you want to create, how far away from having that identity completely do you think we are? Halfway there? 8 out of 10? Something like that?
It's a good question. I don't know if you can measure it. I think in terms of how we're dominating games, I think we're doing that now. So we are, there's a real understanding. When I first came, there was a need for points. There was a need to win games. I think since January, when we got some new players in, you could see the identity starting to shift slightly. I think recently it's been clear in how we've dominated games with the ball, that identity is coming, but it's never ending. I said that to the players on Tuesday when we analysed the game, that even when we win, we look at the same things. So it's not a case of when you lose a game of football, there's loads of things wrong. There is always things that we have to improve and get better at. So in terms of creating that identity, I think it's a never-ending process, but we have definitely came a long way as a football team from when I came in the building to the type of team I want to see, and we're starting to do that. Now that the challenge is, whilst doing that, you have to win games, and that's where we are at the moment, that the identity creates a consistency in results.
Consistency in results, you say there, but we have won our last 2 at home, 2 more home games in the next few days. It's an opportunity for us to sort of end the season strongly, but somewhere where I think we're probably known over the last few years for having pretty good home form.
Yeah, I think it's really important. This place has been full since I've been here, most games, pretty much every game. It's been really positive, it's been really energetic. And we have to use that atmosphere and get results from that. And I think we've been a little bit unfortunate in a lot of games by drawing games that we should have won. But to get 2 wins and obviously have 2 games coming up, it's important that we create a real belief here that when our supporters come, when we come here, when opposition teams come here, they know that they're in for a tough game, and we can win games consistently at home.
I'm sure you probably watched highlights or have watched the full game indeed of Accrington versus Plymouth on Tuesday. They've had that game Tuesday and they'll make the long journey down here on Friday. What about Accrington do you think that could cause us the biggest problems on Saturday?
Their enthusiasm, their understanding of how they've played. They've had a manager for a long time who knows the club inside out. He has almost built that football club single-handedly. And I think the players buy into him and everything the football club stands for. So they will be energetic, they will be enthusiastic, they'll put us under pressure. They will give everything to win the game. They're never beaten. I've been there to the stadium a few times. I had a player when I was at City Football Group on loan there. So I understand the football team and how they play. But we will be in for a really tough game. But as I say every week, I think more than that, it's important we understand what we are going to do and how we are going to go and win the game, and that has been the message to the players again. You have to fight, you have to compete in every League One game, but we have to understand how our style of play will give them problems. We have to understand how we stop their strengths, and if we do that well, we've proved that we can be a top team in this league and win a lot of games.
Great to see Kevin McDonald back last week, perhaps surprisingly. I think you said he was a freak of nature or something. Harry Kite back, and Kegs away for a few days with South Africa.
Yeah, great to have them back. It shows the commitment of these players. They had injuries, but that we thought was going to be longer, but the work in the training ground, the work from Michael and Sam got them back, both of them back much earlier than we expected. So delighted with that. I think they've had another week's training, which is big for them. Kevin in particular, to have that week's training. Harry has trained Friday, and then he trained hard all week with the team. So both of them will be ready, which is really important. Obviously with Kegs missing out as well, which is a disappointment after his performance last week. But great for him that he gets that recognition with international level.
In terms of league tables, we're mid-table at the moment, but in terms of fan engagement, we topped the fan engagement index for the fourth year running earlier this week. And I think that's probably testament to the club we are and everything that we do, I think.
Yeah, it's no surprise when I seen it. I think they are the kind of the standout performers at this football club. One for obviously what they've done to save the football club many years ago, but at the moment how they conduct themselves, the numbers they travel in, the numbers we have every week at home, filling SJP out every week, and just the positivity, the energy that they give the players, the understanding that when things go wrong, there's no negativity at this football club. There's a real togetherness, and that can be so powerful for the players and for the team, and how we progress as a football club in the coming years. So delighted they got recognition for that, and long may that continue.
Part of that fan engagement is the fans forums that we host. We had one last night with Dimitri and Will. Found out a few interesting things. That Will nearly chose golf over football. I'm not sure about that one.
I think we've got a game later in the season, so we'll see how good he is. That'll cut his handicap with a few shots now that I know that. But yeah, there's a few golfers in the group, and great that the two boys, last night were at the event with the supporters and answering questions.
And what was quite nice to hear as well, just to finish off, Dimitri Mitchell said he had no idea we were getting a new training ground, and that he would have signed anyway.
I did tell him that. It just shows he doesn't listen to me, I suppose. I've known Dimitri a long time, so I probably didn't put the big sell on him because I knew he was so keen on coming. But both of them have been great, fitted into the club really well, as have kind of all the January signings fitted in, and it's good to see that they're getting out and about and meeting the supporters at events like that.